Now, we have a couple of informational items. Dr. Swift, Superintendent update.
Thank you. Well, good evening, trustees and members of our community that are joining us in person and remote. It is an exciting time this summer as our academic and enrichment programs have launched. We also have trustees, you saw it on the way in here at Skyline, and I see it everywhere I am in the community. We have significant renovation, construction, and summer deep cleaning work in process all across the Ann Arbor Public Schools. As we wrap up June tomorrow, we are 8 weeks from launch date. And so we are in a full court press at this time to ensure that every building is prepared to welcome our Ann Arbor Public Schools students and staff to a brand new 22-23 school year. We are now in the 3rd week of summer 22 camp season for preschool through 12th grade students. I want to give a shout out to the Rec and Ed team. When everyone else pulls away for a break, the Rec and Ed team and our academic teams go rushing in to meet the needs of our students. Safety Town launched the first of 4 week-long sessions this week for 4 and 5-year-olds. I'm really excited that I get to join them tomorrow at Safety Town for a visit. Currently, there are about 3,500 registrations for half and full day enrichment and sports camps in Safety Town. As you're aware, trustees, a highlight among these is our new A2 Nature Guardians camp at the Freeman Environmental Education Center, and that is led by environmental educator Court Ambersino. Rec and Ed is really thrilled to have 160 high school students volunteering this summer, and I just want to give a shout out to our high school students who've decided to spend their summer giving of themselves in order to serve our AAPS students with their enrichment activities over the summer weeks. Our academic programs are in full swing. Trustees, we are currently projected to serve just over 4,000 students in our academic programs this summer. I want to give just a special shout out to our teachers, support staff, and leaders who are giving their summer weeks to serve our students. Because of their commitment, our students have academic and enrichment opportunities to continue to grow, learn, and thrive during these important summer weeks. I will point out, trustees, that many of those academic activities over this summer are interventions and additional multi-tiered system of supports, including supports for general education and students whose needs are met through an IEP. We have summer food gatherers available, and I will share that link out again this week in the superintendent's update for anyone who may be in need of support with food through this summer. Members of our Ann Arbor Public Schools team continue their learning and growth over the summer, and many are out sharing exemplary work and best practice by presenting at professional conferences throughout this summer season. 2 highlights from this week: Dr. Fedician and a few members of the Ann Arbor Public Schools team are sharing a session, Transformative Service Delivery, an Ongoing Journey. That is occurring this week at the Global Summit Roundtable on Inclusive Education. It is professional learning offered by DICES, a division of the Council for Exceptional Children. Also, Dr. Kellstrom and members of our team, a few members, are presenting at the ISTE EdTech National Conference. Their session is Reimagining Learning in the Classroom, and the presentation describes how to use design thinking to reimagine the classroom. The skills of design thinking coupled with the personalized support that coaching can provide can have a profound effect on the ability of an educator to create a collaborative and personalized learning experience for their students. If you don't know about ISTE, I dropped a note in there. That is the International Society of Technology in Education. It really is about focusing on accelerating innovation in education through the smart and intentional use of technology in service to instruction in education. Just very briefly, trustees, I think everyone's aware by now that Washtenaw County is now at a low community level according to the CDC. So we will continue as we have been with mask optional because we are at a low or a medium level. Of course, our classrooms and schools will always be mask-friendly environments for everyone. And I've noticed, trustees, as I'm out at summer sessions, I see a lot of students and adults still wearing their mask while indoors as their choice and option. We will continue with the improved ventilation and all the other COVID mitigation measures throughout this summer. Now, we're really excited this evening to bring forward, trustees, and a mini update on our work with the before and after school program. This has been a big focus of our work over many weeks and months, but especially now as we prepare for back to school. We know how important before and after school care is for our children and working families in the Ann Arbor Public Schools. And in fact, in the AAPS, we are proud of a decades-long tradition of school-based before and after care right in our neighborhood elementary schools. We remain committed to providing and expanding before and after school care. So our vigorous efforts to staff these programs include these steps. Trustees, you've been briefed, but just reminding all the steps that we're taking, redesigning the positions and programs, improving hourly pay rates, hiring and retention incentives, the potential for health benefits for those who would like to work a 30 or 35-hour weekly schedule, paid time off, paid training, before and after care team members are a part of a represented employee group with opportunities for advancement. Tonight, we are asking for everyone's assistance in our Ann Arbor community. We need to get the word out because as we turn to July, this is really the peak hiring season, trustees, to get our before and after school workers in place. Ms. Bacalor is going to join us via remote so that we can share an update on where we are with our program offerings. We're just so grateful to everyone for your partnership and on this effort. And here is Ms. Bacalor. Good evening.
Good evening, school board trustees and community as well. I am going to go ahead and share my screen with you. So as Dr. Swift mentioned, I'm just going to give a brief update. I came to you at the end of March and talked through some strategies, and I'd like to just give an update on how things are going. And as Dr. Swift mentioned, we know this is very important. We do have this decades-long tradition that was interrupted by the pandemic, but we're really trying hard to get back on track. And we have put into place, this is a great summary sentence of all the different things that we're doing to try to recruit, hire, and retain people who want to work in this program. Our goals for this coming school year are to continue our 5 Rec-A-Ed before after school programs that exist right now at Abbott, Carpenter, Lakewood, Mitchell, and Pittsfield. These programs were really great all year, and we're glad to continue them. We also want to reopen the childcare programs at Angel and Wines as staffing allows. So near the end of the school year, the principal at both of those buildings sent out an interest form to parents who might be interested in before and or after school care. And I'm just including those links here in case anybody missed them. And I'll be sending out an email as well. So this form is for parents to express interest. And the people who fill out the form will receive a status update the week of August 4th. We also are continuing to support the 3 buildings with outside agency care. And so in total for 2022-23, our projection is that we'll be able to have childcare at 10 different elementary schools. But of course, we want to do more. We want to grow the program even more if we can. So as we can with our staffing, we continue to reopen additional program sites. And I said this back in March, and I'll say it again. We are ready to go. Our licenses are still up to date. We're still in good contact with a licensing consultant all the time. We have supplies and equipment ready in schools. And of course, we could order quickly anything else we need. We have our registration system, our procedures, our staff training, our parent handbook information ready to go. So we are ready to open more sites. And we select them based on a variety of factors, including geography, staffing. Sometimes staffing makes a big difference in where we can open a program, Title I status, the building space that's available with various projects that are going on throughout the schools. So, but in general, we are ready to go, and all we need is staff. So back in March, I talked about some of our strategies that we're really leaning in on intensely this spring, and keeping in mind that spring is not usually our big hiring time. People are not thinking about, oh, I want to work in school childcare at this time of year. It's really more toward the start of school. But we decided we were going to really try to push and see what we could make happen this spring. So a couple things that we did, this is part of our redesign, was we created 2 new full-time positions. One of them is an entry-level position, and the other one is an advanced position. That's a program director level that we had not had before. We also, we have worked through bargaining to increase wages, and we added a fall hiring bonus for new hires and retention bonus for people, for our returning staff. We also used childcare stabilization funds from the state to retain a recruitment agency, Amy Cell Talent, which is based in Ypsilanti. And actually, Amy Cell was a district parent. And we hired them for professional recruitment services. And for example, a couple things we did, we held a live webinar information session about our jobs and about what it's like to work for Rec and Ed. They were able to push our job postings through their vast network that is not a typical network that AAPS jobs go to, for example. So what ended up happening? So we're trying to really increase our staffing. So the great news is that we interviewed about 15 candidates, and that's more than typical for the spring. We offered jobs to 8 of them, and 4 have accepted. And 2 of those 4 have been fully hired, and 2 are still in the pipeline. And I know I mentioned back in March our issues with the state FBI fingerprinting process, which can cause delays. So you know, to me, this is pretty good news. We normally are not hiring any people, are just not interested at this time of year, but we were able to recruit, interview, hire. So the downside is that at the end of every year, we do have people retire and resign. And at the end of this year, from our current staff, we had 5 people retire or resign. So that puts us kind of at a flat position right now. Our staffing levels are kind of flat, but it's better than being in the hole, which is sometimes where we are. So I'm just being fully transparent about what has happened through this recruitment push that we've done. So let's talk about what else we're going to do. So our next steps are we're trying even more things and we're continuing some things. So with childcare stabilization funding, we have bought advertising. So we've bought print, online, and radio ads. So you're going to start seeing this ad with a QR code that links directly to our posting information. We're also keeping up our weekly cadence of interviewing, hiring, onboarding. We're just going to keep that up. We're really focused also on trying to recruit and hire work study students. And this is one of the reasons why Angel was chosen, because it is walkable from U of M campus. We're also highlighting, we've never really tried to sell our jobs and sell working for us before, but we're really trying to do that. We're highlighting why it's great to work for Rec and Ed. We have full-time and part-time positions. We have entry-level and advanced, like Dr. Swift said, paid training, benefits that probably beat any other childcare provider in the area. These are union jobs, which offers a seat at the table. And there are opportunities for advancement. And one quick story is one of the 4 that we've hired is actually an internal promotion. And this is this awesome staff person who started with us several years ago as a childcare assistant. That's our lowest level job. She has worked her way up. She became a site supervisor, was very successful, and she's gotten lots of training. And we have just hired her to be a full-time salaried program director. And we're just thrilled, and she's really thrilled as well. So that's a success story that we've had as well. So over the course of the summer, we will also get some additional assistance from Amy Cell Talent. We may end up doing another info webinar more toward end of July. And one thing I wanted to mention is that, our typical hiring is we're hiring through October. So we're really, people start hearing and thinking about, oh, I kind of want to work in the school. I like working with kids. I want to work part-time. And so it could be that we are opening programs a little bit later in the year, or it could be that we start with just the aftercare at a building. But that's okay. We want to provide care, and we're just trying to build our way back to the full 18 sites that we had before. So just wanted to mention those little nuances to it. So who can help? Everybody can help. Parents and everyone in our community can help get the word out about jobs. I have a link here that's just people can share on their social media. They can go to that link and learn more. One of the things we're trying to do is help people understand how to apply. So this link goes to information about the jobs themselves, but also that you apply through AppleTrack, and it's an online application, and you have to have your work history ready to go. And there's a bunch of teacher questions in there because they're just automatically in there. Just skip those. So we're just trying to provide some tips to people because it can be a little off-putting to go into AppleTrack, and it's this huge thing, and a lot of it doesn't seem relevant. But just letting people know they can skip those questions. I just wanted to note again that the job postings will be updated to reflect the new pay scales that you guys are voting on tonight. And we're excited to put it on paper. These pay scales have been expanded. So finally, just a few more things to wrap up. For people who want to know more about the program in general and link to these employment opportunities, all you've got to do is go to aareced.com and click on Extended Day Program. It's right up at the top. Again, we need Angel and Wine's parents who are interested in before and after care to fill out this form. And I also wanted to point out that registration for our after-school enrichment classes, they're the once-a-week classes that go usually until 5:30, that are available once a week for 6 to 12 weeks. That registration information will be available in April. And also, shout out to the community. We understand these classes are not a substitute for before and after care. They're just an additional option. They're part of the menu that are available. So I will continue to provide updates on the program status. I want to thank you, trustees, for your continued support of the program. Thank the community for your patience. We are trying really hard. We thank you for your support of our before and after care staff. They work hard every day to serve students in our school community.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Baccalor. I will just share how grateful we are for partnership and support. I want to wish everyone a happy 4th of July holiday, and that wraps my update. But Madam President, will hold Ms. Baccalor if there are
Yes.
questions. Normally, the trustees don't ask questions about my update, although you're welcome to. But Ms. Baccalor, just hold right there for a moment, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Swift. Thank you for that update on a very important service that the district provides to our community. All right. Thank you, Ms. Baccalor. Appreciate it.